Next up in our SEC preview series is the Mississippi State Bulldogs, who enter the first year under Jeff Lebby as their head coach, the former Oklahoma offensive coordinator. Last year was kind of a disaster for Mississippi State a little bit. They went 5-7. Zach Arnett was their head coach his first year as head coach. He used to be the defensive coordinator under Mike Leach, who tragically passed away in December of 2022. He kind of moved away from the air raid offense that made Leach and Mississippi State so famous. Did not work out as well as the offense had a really poor year in 2023. Missed a bowl game for the first time since 2009. First time, that's crazy, especially in a great conference like the SEC. Mississippi State has really been consistent, but wasn't under Zach Arnett because he really just got away from being a great offensive team. Now they're going back to that, right? And they go back to Jeff Lebby, who had an unreal offense at Oklahoma the year before. And that's the big strength for them right now. This offense won't really look like what it was last year, which is a good thing, right? Because they were the 9th worst Power 5 team in EPA per play. They have 8 transfers coming in that are projected to start on offense, so only 3 of their projected starters are guys who return to school. So I'm really excited to see if this offense can get back to being the high-flying offense that it was under Mike Leach. And I think Jeff Lebby is a really talented offensive-minded head coach, and I'm excited to see what he could do in year one. The weakness, though, they have questions everywhere on defense. They lost 8 starters from a defense that's about average last year. So 8 starters are gone, and they got to get better at rushing the passer, man. They had a 63.3 pass rushing grade as a team. That was a 10th worst in the country last year. So even though last year it was a okay defense and a bad offense, I think it's going to be flipped, man. I think it could be a okay offense and a bad defense in 2024. But Dalton, they have a new quarterback now, and Blake Shapen coming in from Baylor. When you dove into his film, what did you really see from him?
I saw a guy who actually might be a low-key bounce-back candidate this year. 2021 and 2022, he was pretty good. And in his career, he's got an 86.5 play-action passing grade, which is a really nice number when you consider the amount of play-action that Jeff Lebby uses. The big thing last year that I saw, there was a clear drop-off last year for Shapen, and he had a knee injury that was bothering him. He missed a couple games. He got hurt. He got hurt week 1, I believe, against Texas State, missed a couple of games and came back and just wasn't right. Like his delivery, everything about him, it just didn't look right. The ball wasn't jumping off the hand the same way because his lower body just wasn't in it. I think actually Blake Shapen in this offense with as much RPO and play action and, all the stuff we saw at Oklahoma with Dylan Gabriel last year that we've talked about, I think he could be in for a bounce back. I actually like this pairing with him and Jeff Lebby. The question is when they have to get away from that stuff, can he succeed? Because he never really has. But if he's healthy, I think he could give them a shot to win games. I think he fits this system pretty good. He looked really good in 2021 and 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned before, he's one of the transfers that is going to be a starter for them. I think another one coming in from UTEP is their wide receiver, Kelly Akarai, who's a really talented player. He was 6th in the group of 5 last year with 3 yards per route run. Very fast player at 6'1", 200 pounds. He was 10th in the country at receiver with a top speed of 22.8 miles per hour. So he's a really speedy receiver. That speed allows him to win deep and also produce after the catch as well. Now, he's got to get stronger at the catch point. He was in the last percentile of FBS receivers in contested catch rate, only 12.5%, and it had a 12th percentile drop rate at about 12% last year too. So got to get stronger at the catch point, but he is a fast receiver who can win deep, win after the catch. He's a really fun player. I'm excited to see how he transitions from the group of 5 level at UTEP over to the SEC at Mississippi State this year.
Agree. I mean, there's some potential on their offense, and if there's going to be any on defense, it's probably going to start with one of the few guys returning, and that's safety Corey Ellington. Just a well-rounded 6'3", 200-pound kind of strong safety guy that floats in the box. Pretty good all the way around, right? 0.33 yards per coverage snap allowed was one of the best marks among SEC safeties. Very good run defender, hard hitter. He just a little bit better in the box than back deep. Like if they had a productive free safety back there to complement with him, he'd be really good to kind of just sniff around the box. But Corey Ellington's a guy that they should build their defense around if they're going to get rid of some of those question marks.
Yeah, absolutely. So bottom line time now, Dawn. We got Jeff Lebby in his first year as the Mississippi State head coach. What are your expectations heading into the first year of the Jeff Lebby era?
I mean, it really is a rebuild, but I do think I like the fit with Shapen in this offense. If Akarai and some of these other offensive pieces can get it together, it's tough. They lost Woody Marks too at running back, so they're really this is a rebuilding year, and obviously it's just kind of that process after losing Mike Leach and everything that went down. It's really unfortunate, but no, I think building and just getting that recruiting base going. This is a long-term project, and I think Jeff Lebby understands that. Now, I think there's a world where their offense, if Shapen is healthy, can give teams some problems. And I think the big thing is the no huddle and the pace that he brings. But I think this is more of a long-term vision. I don't think we should spend too much time judging the Bulldogs off of whatever performance they have this year.
Yeah, I'm looking at their schedule right now. They play one of the 15 hardest schedules in the country. I think there's like 4 games they should win. And even that, you could argue there's 3 because they play Arizona State, which I think they could win that game. Toledo, I mean, I still think Toledo could be a solid team this year. So that's like kind of a toss-up, but I think they should win that game too. So I'll give them that one. And they play UMass as well. Should win that game. And Eastern Kentucky should win that game. So that's 4. Other than that, I mean, I'd say they're the second worst team in the SEC probably, and they don't play Arkansas. They could definitely beat Arkansas, but they don't play the worst team. They don't play Vanderbilt. So like, it's hard for me to say they're going to make a bowl game next year when they have so many questions. I think this 2024 Mississippi State could kind of be the opposite of last year, where last year they went 5-7 basically only because their defense was about average. Their offense was terrible. It could be the opposite, where it could be, okay, the offense is about average, but the defense, it really does struggle. So that could be the reason why they missed another bowl game. Unless both units perform at about an average level, I don't really see that happening, though, with this defense right now. So I think I like Jeff Lebby. I'm excited to see what he could do as head coach, but I do think, like you said, it's going to be a little bit of a rebuilding period for him with the Bulldogs. But that's what we got for our preview of Mississippi State. Again, we're doing this for every single one of the 70 Power 5 schools, so make sure you guys subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any single one of them.